Ayo. Okay. Get this music going. Boom. Oh, bless. Okay. Have some awesome things I want to talk about today. Do want to see what kind of audience we get. Even if it's only like one or two people. I really want to talk about cycles and everything. Oh wow, so good. Let me share my screen for a moment. Talk about some of this while we're hanging out. I've talked about this Wonderland staking thing. I still think it's actually a decent idea to get in. This is only something though that you'd want to get in with crypto if you already have stuff like Saber and Fabric. So if you don't own any Saber or Fabric, then buy that first before you buy this. Because this is not as much of a use case, but I've talked, like I said, I've talked about it before, but just to repeat, Time Wonderland, it's this token. When you go to the website, it brings you here, financial tools to grow your wealth. Stake and earn compound interest on the Avalanche network. So basically the whole point of this coin is to earn money on staking it, on depositing it into an account. So it doesn't have like a ton of use case, right? Whereas Saber, Fabric, Solana, all those things have strong use case, have a lot more reason for them to go up in value because they're providing lots of value. Wonderland is providing value, but the only value it's providing is strong, a really high return on your money, 54,000% interest. And what that comes out to is 9% every 5 days. You're obviously not getting paid in like US dollars. You put their coin called Time into the account, and then you earn 9% every 5 days. And so it comes out to 54,000 because it's compounding, so like, let's say you put one in, you earn 9%. So now you have 1.09, right? And now you're earning 9% on 1.09. So it's going to increase every time. That's obviously compounding interest. You guys probably have heard of compounding interest. Let me tell everyone in the Discord that we're live. Sweet. Grand Rising, everyone. Just got a few people on. I'm sure others will hop on as time flies. Time goes on. Okay, so if you've bought Fabric, if you bought Saber, like why buy in this? It doesn't have a ton of use case because the charts look so good. It will go up because people are going to want to jump in on this 54,000% return. It's not going to be something like this may go on for a long time, the 54,000%. But the challenge with it is that if you're making the coin, if the value of that coin goes down, it doesn't really matter how much you're getting back. It's not worth anything, right? So what I'm doing is watching. Zach, what's up? Grand Rising. Zach, I literally cannot wait until we're flying spaceships together in VR Star Atlas world. I really can't wait for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty awesome.
I know, dude. I'm so stoked. On that note, we're getting beta devices. I'm gonna show you guys something. I think everyone can see this. So this is what's called, in crypto, when projects are making or putting on paper their idea, what they're doing, Bitcoin had the original and called it the Bitcoin white paper because it's just, it was a PDF. It wasn't actual paper. But it just told the whole plan of Bitcoin and like what it's doing, why it's so cool, on and on. So this is the token of me black paper. It's just because it's a whole change, a whole take on the world. You guys have heard me talk about the flow state device, flow sensor. And so,
Oh, hey,
yeah.
hey, sorry to interrupt. I actually have a really interesting story. There's this guy on YouTube who normally does video games,
Okay.
and he's called the Spiffing Brit.
Okay.
And he did Binance. He put like $20 into every single cryptocurrency there is, like 5 months ago.
Nice. Okay.
And he was saying like the title of the video was like, oh, this is like, maybe this is a way to hack it. Like you just do a little bit of everything. And I was thinking like, oh God, is everything we're learning just meaningless? You just put a little bit into everything and then you just get money.
Right. It's so funny.
But
How did it go?
he was down like, I think 45% over 5 months.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it's good that we're learning real things.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. I think that there's a chance that if he checked it in like a few years, or he probably will be up. Especially if putting it all in crypto. I will tell you guys that over the long run, I can't lie. I think in 10 years, like there's going to be so much opportunity on, especially in blockchain, just different doing, games that pay you. And I know with this token of me, this flow sensor thing, this is a way that people will be able to get paid just to have fun. So I do foresee the need to trade lessening as time goes on. I personally, if there's charts, I will probably look at charts my whole life. I just love them. Weirdo. But I will tell you that, just the Star Atlas game alone, we all can get a squad rolling together on this game, and we're playing this game, flying these spaceships around in VR, 3, 4, 5 years, however long it takes. And we're mining, and we have a whole squad making money in the game, right? Have a whole gang there. And so and then use that for our, we transfer that to Binance or whatever to trade for Bitcoin to pay our bills or whatever we do, whatever we need. So I will say that, but for now, and for me, it's and consistently still, it's the patterns, the chart patterns that make me consistent money. Investing too, of course, like investing will do a lot, but the day-to-day income, getting the bills paid and all that, trading just it does it. So yeah, So I will say though that if you're invested in crypto in the right things, that your gains over the next 3 to 6 months will probably outweigh anything that you would make trading if you're invested in the right things. But just with that too, there are cycles to everything. So just know that, yeah, I know my forex game has been pretty slacking lately, but the only reason is because I've been so focused on crypto. And I only have every one of us only has so much focused energy and good decisions that we can make each day. And so, with the other things that I do plus trading, I notice when I'm focusing on crypto, my forex game starts to slack, and vice versa. So I want to just say, we're gonna, I'm working with some people that are in the group that trade mostly forex or indices or stocks. B actually is one that's on, and B posts amazing content there. Obviously, a lot of it's about US 30, and that's B's found a strategy that works. And I want to commend B Di Stefano here on the chat. If you guys want to say hi. But I just want to commend B because that's one of the hardest things is staying consistent on, just a couple charts. But when you do that, you can see so much more positive results. It's just, you get to know the chart, you get to know the patterns, you get to know the emotions that the chart has. And so there's just a lot to be said about that, about sticking with one thing and, and just rolling with that. So yeah, I will say on that note, kind of going back to what Zach was saying, talking about putting something into everything. There are some things though you can put your money into that probably aren't the best, but they will go up. But we want to go for the high use case. So anyway, for everyone that didn't hear me earlier, I'm not going to repeat because there are some people already that were on, and I talked about this Wonderland thing. I know I've talked about it a couple times on a few live streams in the recent past. But I do think, just to repeat, if you own Fabric, if you own Saber, this could be a good one to put in just to earn some interest on, because I think it will be something you can earn interest on for the next few months. And it's paying 54,000% interest. It's paying 9% every 5 days. So it comes out to 54,000% because of the compounding effect. And if you're not sure what the compounding effect is, well, just say you don't know, and I'll tell you. I did already explain it, but if you don't know, I'm just going to assume everyone knows because you guys are really sharp. But it's not a dumb question if you don't know. Compound effect is really cool concept that a lot of people go a long time without knowing. So anyway, so I want to talk about a couple things. And then I want to go into charts, and I do want to just stick to forex charts today. I'm going to go for more of a scalping mentality today and see if we can find some lower time frame trades. But I want to talk on cycles. And I'm going to relate this because there's cycles in everything. Obviously, there's literally everything. There's cycles in the charts, in our emotions, in our attitudes, in ourselves. I don't know why I'm not signed in. What the heck? Well, give me a second while I'm going to talk and sign into TradingView at the same time, right? I don't know why it logged me out. Anyways, there are obviously cycles in everything, okay? And there's patterns in everything, all right? Women have their monthly cycles. That's a cycle. Trees have their life cycle. Humans have life cycle. All animals have life cycles. It's interesting, actually. One of my best friends, Susan, who wrote that black paper, who I will come back to that black paper here in a little bit, and that Tom device. Of course, I'm going to mention that. I'm going to mention that for the rest of my life because it's going to change the world. Cycles and everything. Cycles. Yeah. Oh yeah. What I was saying is, my best friend Susan, who wrote that black paper, who has those patents. Her mom is in the death process, the body death process, of course, and she's 88. She's kind of bedridden, and You know, it's really interesting to see and compare. You guys have probably all had this thought before, but to watch someone who's dying go from basically, you know, it's like they're reverse aging in a way. What I mean is, as a baby, you come out of the womb and you're helpless. You can't do anything for yourself, can't feed yourself, can't change yourself, you know, you're going to the bathroom all over yourself, right? And so it's interesting that the aging process, I'm not kind of noticing the same thing. Um, and Maureen is her name. And so that she's not able to do these things on her own anymore that she used to so easily, you know, making bowel movements, even though it sounds gross, but she needs help with that. And it's a cycle, it's a life cycle. And on the smaller note, you know, on a, you know, other notes of cycles like seasons and trading, what I've found is by getting one with myself and doing the work to become as conscious as possible, as often as possible, I'm able to tap in or to connect with the world around me, you know, with the energy and with those cycles. And when I am connected and in a flow state and I'm, you know, I'm just connected with everything around me, I can better perceive those cycles in myself, in the charts, especially in other people. And when we can see those, we can recognize patterns, not in just one thing, but all things. It makes it easier to recognize the patterns in all things. And when we do that, you know, we can make decisions and make profitable decisions. But more importantly, you know, then it's like talking about a profitable decision. What is a profitable decision? What I mean by profitable decision is not just, hey, I bought this coin or I bought this pair at the right time and it went up. It's, oh, I noticed in myself that I was feeling some type of way that would go against how I should feel if I'm trading or investing or doing any work or being around people, that I actually am not feeling the best and maybe I should take the time to myself. That's a really profitable decision because there's the idea of polarity. And if you guys haven't read or heard of the Kabbalion, it's a book. It's a really kind of hard book to read. So there's just a lot in it, but I would take the time to read the Kabbalion. It's talks about Hermeticism, and one of the principles, it talks about how the world works. And the principle of polarity is one of those principles. And polarity just basically means, think of a waveform. I don't know if you guys can see me moving my arm up and down, but just I'll put a wave up here, actually. Oops. And you got your peak and your trough. Trying to find a good, I mean, right here, this is fine. Okay, this is a wave, right? Up and down, up and down. Everything is frequency and vibration. Everything is giving off waves. Yes, even you, yes, your thoughts have measurable waves. MIT did a study. That's why manifestation works, because your thoughts are going out into the world. You can measure them. You can measure the frequency of them. So polarity, the idea of polarity is that with every bottom, you're going to experience a top again, and or a high. With every low, you're going to experience a high. And when you experience a high, you're going to experience a low again. This is life. And this is always life for most people. And they follow that, or not necessarily follow that, but they actually fight it. And when bad things are happening, or they perceive things to be bad, they will actually feel more emotion, feel more negative, because they're going against the natural rhythm, the natural flow of things. And doing so, and then if you add trading into it, you're going against the natural flow and you're fighting it. Oh, I've been making money, and just by buying over this last week, then why can't I just keep buying over the next year and just make $10 trillion? That's not the natural flow of it. The tides, it's another in and out cycle, in and out, just like the waves. And the waves are a smaller cycle within the cycle of the tides. The waves are moving in and out all the time, right? And the tide is just a bigger cycle of that. Everything has cycles. Your emotions, I notice money, when my income goes through cycles. Excuse me. Everything has cycles. How do we tap into these cycles? Meditation is key. Expanding consciousness. Ask yourself, how can I expand my consciousness? And there's your answer. How I can tap into these cycles, how I can notice these cycles. And the best thing for me that has assisted me in living a life that I choose, I create, and living a life that brings me more joy than the opposite, is knowing that there are cycles, accepting them, and then actually using them to my advantage. And so there is the law of polarity, and everyone will experience polarity. Everyone, it's just there. So the way that I play this is once you get to that point where you're like, okay, I really do feel the cycles, and maybe it's just in trading. You're like, wow, I really do see the cycles in the charts. They're so consistent, these cycles. And I'm going to show you in Bitcoin exactly what I mean. I don't know why I want it all dark. See, color theme, dark. There we go. I'm going to show you in Bitcoin market cycles in a second here, because they're very, very easy to see. But when you notice those cycles and you notice them from, you can see them. The next key is just to stay neutral. And I'm coming back to this waveform. I want to show, I want to talk about the main reason I'm bringing this up is because of my own emotions. I noticed that I attracted polarity of a downward cycle over the last just day or two, because a few days before I was feeling so blissed out. I was just so just like everything was good. I'm happy, just full of love. And sometimes, and I think that it could be mental programming. I'm not sure what it is, but cycles happen. And so I was feeling up here, and I should only expect that, okay, there's a chance that I'll feel this down here. And I'm not, my lows are actually, it's more like my cycles are on an upward trend. Every time I experience a low, it's a higher low. I don't feel as bad as I used to, because I don't have as much attachment to things. And so when I notice that I feel this blissed out, I'm at this point now where I'm conscious enough to know, okay, well, there's a chance that, tomorrow I might not feel blissed out. I just, there's a chance. Or maybe next week I'm not going to feel this blissed out. Thank you, Mia. So what I'll do is I'll take my time away from the charts. I'll maybe take my time away from specific people. I'll take time to myself just to be, and just to notice the cycle and not do anything. I'm just a witness, meditating on it, and I'm watching. And then when I notice, and it's subtle, guys, this takes a little time. That's why in the trading course and in coaching, I talk about mastering emotions a lot, and the subconscious and all that, because it has a lot to do with this. But when you start to notice that in yourself, okay, I've been feeling down for a couple of days, and down doesn't mean sad. It just means it's a time of, just like another cycle we take is the breath out and a breath in and out, and it's constant, right? In and out. This is the same thing. So our energy, our output, we put all this out, we're feeling all this joy, bliss, and whatever. It's time to take that breath inward so that we can take another breath that goes out. So when we start to see that shift at the bottom of this waveform, then we can start to, okay, it's time to start trading again, or time to start doing whatever, maybe selling. And what's cool is these cycles also, just like the low time frames, high time frames, right? There's cycles on smaller and larger time frames. You wake up first thing, I wake up first thing in the AM and I'm focused. Okay. And then after a couple hours of being awake, few hours, I'm like a little bit down, like not down, just like, okay, I need to rest again, I need to meditate, or Sometimes I will get coffee to keep going, but actually the best to just follow your body and go and maybe take a nap, go read, go do something that isn't demanding. And then I notice again at afternoon, 12, 1, 2, I'm back on the upswing. I'm rolling again. So these cycles are everywhere. And the Kabbalion is a good way to read it. It's very difficult though. It's the Kabbalion is a hard read. It's just it's a lot to absorb. And so there's other books that I'm looking at. One book though that I think is really, really good, that is very, very simple, and has kind of a start on these ideas. Cycles a little bit, but other things. It's this book called Cosmic Currency. Okay, and there's not an audiobook. It's $20 on Amazon. I highly recommend to get this book. And it gives you actually a couple practices that you can do when you wake up to assist with helping yourself become conscious, or pushing yourself to become more conscious. Just simply being conscious, you're going to witness the world around you in a lot more efficient way. So this is a great book for that. Great book. I just recommended it to a friend, to Sue, actually, who's on. And actually, I hadn't recommended it to Sue. This is one of the books I wanted to recommend to you, Sue. So I think I don't know if I texted it to you, but Cosmic Currency, I definitely recommend to all of you guys. Yeah, it's a good one. It's not a long read either, but it's really, really good. So heavily recommend that. And then one other book that I have to recommend to everyone is Use a Guide. Use a Guide to Balance. Okay, I might as well post these books in the trading group, eh? Okay, let's do it in consciousness expansion. Actually, you might have posted these books a while ago, but I probably didn't. General. Oh, I did actually. Boom. Cosmic Currency. Would you look at that? B, asking it is given. I love it. So Cosmic Currency, just scroll up a little bit and I have the Amazon link. It's highly recommend, like one of the best books that I read at the beginning of my journey. And then the other one is the Use a Guide. The Use a Guide tells you about all the things in the world that are taking from your consciousness and all the things you can do to help it. Let's see. Cool. And these two books, like 12 out of 10 recommend. Like definitely great ones. So take the time when you're on that downward swing, read a book. One other thing. No, I'm gonna save that other thing for another time. I was gonna talk about something else, but okay, cool. So cycles, guys. Last thing I want to show you about cycles is this right here. It actually has having to do with charts. You guys have seen me post this before. Wall Street cheat sheet. Oh. What in the heck? I don't know what's going on. My whole browser's all. Am I using my girlfriend's computer? Bro, it's on Google. I don't use Google. This is so weird. My trading view is logged out. I gotta redo all my chart settings. It's weird. Okay, whatever. Maybe my computer updated. Okay, so Wall Street cheat sheet. Let's get these side by side, shall we? Okay, this is big enough where everybody can see it. Now let's make the Bitcoin chart big enough. And I gotta go to an older, because the Bitcoin chart that I use, XBT USD, it's BitMEX. BitMEX is quoting. I just finally had a lot of volume when I first chose it. I'll probably be changing it soon because they don't have nearly as much volume as they used to have. I noticed that with coins, not with coins, but with markets that start to KYC, make people prove their identity. They they lose a lot of volume, lose a lot of customers. I'm so bullish on crypto, guys. Okay, let me change my settings really quick. And if for those of you not in charts yet, or if you're in charts and you haven't done this yet, change the colors of your candlesticks and watch your life change. I choose blue personally. I like blue, lighter blue. Oops. We have subconscious around the world, subconscious attachment to the colors red and green. Stoplights. When we were kids, if you watch, especially if your parents had the news on like mine, the things you watch, or like the news always had those like tickers, you know, stocks and stuff, and so it's all like deep there in your subconscious. So just Control Alt delete it and just change the color of your candlesticks. Okay, guys, pay close attention to this. Okay, if you're listening to me, take 1 second and just look at this. Okay, we're just talking about cycles, right? I'm gonna show you cycles on a chart and how they happen often, and they're everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna give you 1 more second. Hurry, come look. Okay, so right here I have the Wall Street cheat sheet, which if you guys have explored the group or been on every live stream, I've shared this before. And what's cool about this is it shows all the emotions going up. Now, notice this is Bitcoin, okay? We're looking at Bitcoin chart, and this right here is 2013. So 2013, Bitcoin bottomed at $12 in January, and it rose all the way up to 250, tanked all the way down to 62. Even a little lower, 45, and then went back up. All right, look at how this cycle matches perfectly with this cycle. Okay, comes down, and then notice after we're down, the cycle restarts. And look at how we have a whole other brand new, same exact cycle. This is now in 2014 for Bitcoin, okay? So Bitcoin went up to 250, 260, came down to 61, then went all the way up to 1100, came down to 150, all right? And then the cycle started again. Now we have 2017. Now this is where I got into crypto, late 2016, right around here. I got in Bitcoin around 700 when I first bought some. So that was, yeah, December, like literally the end of 2017. And notice how same exact cycle happened again. Now we're now in the 3rd time that it happened. And this time we topped off at 20,000, okay? And then we come all the way down. And this is where I watched the whole thing. I watched it go all the way up. I watched charts going all the way down, watched it come back up again and go all the way down again. And I watched it come all the way up how it has. So it topped at 20,000, bottomed at 3,300. Look at the cycle. We're now at 3 times that this has happened. Okay. And look what we're experiencing again now. Now, I want you guys to see something. Notice how before we send it straight up, we have this kind of like dip where we went up from 1,700 to 5,000, down to 3,000, up to 20. Check this out. We come up 64,000, came down to 30. And to me, I don't know if it'll go up as drastic as it did right here, but it will go up strong. So that was the dip before. We were blessed with that, and we have closed the weekly high above the all-time high. Like we're pumping right now. We're at 63K right now as we're talking. All-time high is really close, 64,000. This is your last chance, I believe, to really get into crypto, because what's going to happen, not to get into crypto in general, you can always get in, and just no matter when you get in, even if you buy at the absolute top, you just buy and you wait 5 years, it will be up. We're that early in this industry. You're just going to have like 3 years of feeling bad. So get in now. Bitcoin is going to run, and Bitcoin's going to slow down. And then when Bitcoin slows down for a bit, altcoins are going to run. So first you're going to get the big caps, the top 10, top 20, and some random ones. And then you're going to get the small ones. So, and the small ones are where the biggest gains are made. Okay. You're going to watch, you could watch a little bit of money turn into a lot in just a couple of months. I'm talking 30, 50, 100x is not crazy at all. You will experience that if you stay in the space long enough, especially if you own Fabric, if you own Saber, you will experience that. So this is the cycle. It's just the cycle of it. And I want you to know that just like this cycle looks, look at how the cycle is repeated. We watched it. It's 1, 2, 3, now going on 4 times that it's done this cycle. And guess what? It's going to happen again. Okay. We're going to experience a peak. And to me, I see the peak is going to be anywhere from 150 to 200K. That's kind of where I'm looking. And the whole crypto market is going to follow Bitcoin all the way up. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. I'm going to do a Fibonacci because Fib is going to be the best way for us to choose where, or to see potentially where it will go. But even Fibonacci isn't exact, right? The most exact thing that we can use is price action. Okay, what is the price actually doing? Whatever, that's good enough. Okay, so to me, the next level that we're going to go to, as soon as we cross the all-time high, then 86 to 87K is my next bet. And after that, 120. But I think we top anywhere between 180 to 210,000. And then we'll get out. And I think that in January or February is kind of the way that I'm timing this. Just because that's the cycle. And what's going to happen after this? It's going to tank, guys. And so this is where it's really, really important. And I talk about a lot of to everyone I coach. And you guys on the live streams, if you haven't gotten coaching from me one-on-one, well, you're blessed to be on these live streams for one. But if you really want to upgrade, take it to the next level. And I'm not saying this to toot my own horn. It's just I've done it and I've experienced it and I've seen it. And so all I'm doing is just telling you exactly what I see. And doing it consistently. But there's going to be a time when it peaks and it's going to go down. And if we look at the last time it did that, 2017, the peak was December 2017. The bottom was February of 2019. We had over a year of nothing, of down. Now, obviously, you can trade this and you can trade it down and you can get into short sells, and that's a great way to do it. But you know, for me, I might do that. But after this blow off top, I'm really, who knows? I might sell here. I might get lucky and sell up here, but I might sell here, and that's okay because I have the price points and the profit numbers and the wallet amounts that I know that I'm aiming for. That if I get to it, I'm gonna watch the price action, and if I don't get as high as I'm looking, then I'll still just pull out if the price action says. Or if I hit that number, to me it's a mental number, and I'm just gonna pull out. I don't care if it could have doubled or tripled, and I've said this multiple times, because when you make money that will change the way that you live your life in any way, whether it's you're going to be able to afford your car or afford a nicer car or whatever you want, you know, you're going to be able to quit your job completely, whatever it is. Why would you just wait and stare at it? Just take it out and then live your life differently, you know? And there's going to be another cycle and we'll have another chance, but I want to pull all that money out so that I also have a ton of money that when the market does bottom, I'm going to put it all in. Obviously going to spend some, you know, but I'm going to have enough to put in and then watch the whole cycle again. And the next cycle, I did the math in 2017 and I said, it would not be crazy if Bitcoin went to $1 million. It just wouldn't be crazy. And I still believe that. This cycle has shown me that crypto is not going anywhere. And if anything, it is actually taking over a lot of things. So being able to witness two cycles now has really shown me that. So anyways, now I will say, you know, as bullish as I'm talking, you know, probably like everybody's like, hey, let's freaking buy more. We have to watch the price action. Okay, guys, just because I know we're going up over the next few months, yes, you can buy now and hold and you'll be good. That, at least that's what I'm doing. I'm very confident. I'm like 90% on sure on all this. We still have that resistance at the all-time high of Bitcoin, and we could still dip before we go up. It's very possible. So even though it feels really good and you just want to put everything in and just wait, if you haven't already bought Bitcoin, I wouldn't buy it. If you haven't already bought Faber, Fabric or Saber, I would buy it. I definitely would. And if you have to be able to get a Brave browser and VPN, and you have this Phantom wallet and all this stuff. So it is a process. I have bought for at least 7 people now, and I'm holding for all 7 people. So if you want me to do that for you, just let me know. You have to send me some crypto and I'll get it in, and I'll send you screenshots of what I got, and then I can hold it. I can have like 10 separate wallets in one wallet. So more than that, I can have 100 of them if I wanted. So anyway, just let me know. But the thing is with these cycles, oh yeah, one more thing, guys. One more thing with the cycles. I want to show you the same exact cycle, how it is everywhere. I'm going to go to the Saber site or Saber chart. Dang, he went down some more, but whatever. I'm gonna probably buy some more. See this same exact cycle? Like, look at this. This is Saber. See how we went up, and obviously this is a shorter time, but Saber was released in July, and we already had that strong run up, and now we've come down so far. And even though like a lot of people, I've been telling people to buy since over here, and I mean, actually since right here, since like 20 cents, I've been saying, okay, guys, time to buy back in. No matter how low it goes, because I know their use case, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Know that the next cycle that we get, it will go way higher than this. This cycle went all the way to $1. Okay, we're now at 15 cents. We almost lost freaking 90%. We lost 85%. That is strong buy signal. Okay, and right here, to me, this first spike is a sign that people started to buy in. Okay, and we're getting some price movement, and I don't think that we can go much lower than this. There's just nowhere to go. I mean, the absolute, like, to me, I don't really care how low we go. If like 6 cents, great. If we go to 6 cents, that's fine. I'm in this so well. Like I got in Saber at like 20 cents. And no, I'm sorry. Before that, I got in at like 7-8 cents. It was up over here. So I'm personally, I'm good. I sold some up around like 40 cents. But I'm just chilling. I'm waiting. Look at that cycle. It's gonna happen again. It always does. We're at the bottom of it. And Fabric, the exact same, guys. Liquid, also the same. Oops, go to a higher time frame, 12 hours. Oh my gosh. And something to know, look how beautiful this is, guys. We're at the bottom. Something also to see in the patterns when you have charts like this, these spikes, these wicks, what you have to think about is what causes them. Like, yes, obviously we can say, usually a top wick is selling pressure, and it totally is. But when you're getting a candle that, like, look at how flat these were at 8 cents for days. And all of a sudden we get these spikes. What that means is people are putting a bunch of buy orders to push the price up. And yeah, people are selling to get it back down, but all these spikes and these wicks all tell me people are buying. So we are at the bottom. Like, this is literally, get on the train and let's ride it to freaking $4 and let's get off. We're at 8 cents right now, guys. 8 cents. Wow, it's a blessing. If you're not buying now, you're gonna wish you did in a few months, especially in a few years. So, and remember, buy with anything you buy. Never, ever, ever trade your rent money. Like, if you have to look at that money, and be like, okay, if it went to 0, I'd be okay. I wouldn't need it. I have cash. You have to be able to do that. If you can't do that, don't use that money. And then once you bought, just chill. I'll tell you guys when to sell. I'll tell you guys when I'm selling in the group. So
Can I ask you a question?
yeah, of course.
When you sold some fabric and saber, did you put it in USDC in the Phantom wallet, or did you actually like pull it out of the Phantom wallet in US dollar?
Correct. So I just did in USDC.
Okay, that's what I did as well. Okay.
Yes. So for the US and actually for most countries, the taxed event, like when they try to charge you taxes, is as soon as you change to your local currency. So for me, it would be US dollars. And you know, I'm gonna have a Mexican bank account here pretty soon. So same thing, if I traded my crypto, I deposit into my Mexican bank account, that's a taxed event. It's an income. So to avoid that, you just trade to these tethered coins. And mostly it's US dollar tethered coins because people use US dollars around the world. So just trade to that. There are some exchanges that have other currencies, you know, the pounds tether, the euro tether. So there are those out there, but it's mostly US dollar. And the good thing is, you know, for now, while people are still measuring things with fiat, like saying Bitcoin is worth 60,000 instead of, oh, the US dollar, it's only, you know, worth 0.000001 Bitcoin, right? Eventually it'll get there. But for now, that's how you kind of hold the value in your crypto. Okay. And one more thing I want to mention to you guys, if you're not bullish on, if everything I've said, the patterns, the cycles, all that hasn't gotten you to think, wow, crypto is really going to run it. And all I really have to do for crypto is to just put my money there, and learn patterns, keep learning patterns, because you want to be able to see things like you want to be on the in, you want to be able to do that. Trust me, it makes your life so different because you can see, okay, big old candle, bearish, time to get the frick out. You know, like we could have seen, let's see, I'm gonna go to a 4-hour. Let's just see on the fabric chart. I mean, yeah, like we can see with the price action, this went up. This first candle is a sign for me to get out. If I didn't, this one with the strong wick on the top just tells me to get out. The next one says, oh, it could have gone higher. But if you didn't get out, we get this strong engulfing candle, which is still at 30 cents. You know, top was 42 cents. With this candle, you could have got out at 30. So there's all, just knowing the price action, knowing about wicks on top, right? Knowing about the dojis, knowing about engulfing candles. These are all things that we could say, okay, yeah, time to get out of that trade, you know? So knowing that in the grand scheme, it's going to make you better and more profitable in these markets. But last thing I want to talk about with these, then I do want to go into some Forex charts. By the way, there's chat. I'm so sorry. Uliana asked, okay, cool. It's right now. Received 70K. Do I buy one Bitcoin? You mentioned no, right? To wait for the next small dip. If you have 70K, here's I just want to, the best way to do it. Yes, I think having some Bitcoin is smart, and there's a lot of people out there that think you should only have Bitcoin, but we're just looking at these market cycles, right? And so if you look at Bitcoin, like we can only kind of guess how far it is into this market cycle. What I mean is look how much Bitcoin's come up. Okay. We're at resistance too. You know, resistance is at this whole wick is resistance. So until we cross $64,921, we're at resistance. So this is not somewhere I would buy Bitcoin. If we get a dip, the dip that I would love to see, if we get a dip, is a retest of this level, because that on the weekly was the last high. So it's at 53,000 basically. I would, if we get Bitcoin down to 53, maybe even 54,000, then yes, it could be good to buy some. However, I'm still under the impression, under the opinion that why not buy something that has way more upside potential? Because let's think about it. I think that Bitcoin, like max, could go to 200K, and it's crazy to think about this. You know, it's like 200 divided by 60. So that's a 3x from here. Okay, that means that your money could go 3 times what it is. When I believe something like, let's just say, I actually think your investment in Solana and Bitcoin would be the same investment when it comes to risk. Solana does 400,000 transactions per second. Ethereum at the moment can only do 1,500. Okay, Ethereum is worth $453 billion. Solana is worth $47 billion. So just to match Ethereum, even though pound for pound, Solana is a better blockchain, in my opinion. The only difference is that there's more people that are using Ethereum. That's the only difference. So 450 divided by, or 450 billion divided by 47 billion comes out to a 9x. So Uliana, a long answer to your question is, you would probably want to put your money where you have more potential for growth, and putting your money into Bitcoin for this bull cycle, at most, in my opinion, can give you can make you go 3x, basically triple your money. Whereas an investment in Solana could, just to match Ethereum, and I'm not saying that it will go up to match Ethereum this bull cycle, because I know that Ethereum is also going to go up. Ethereum will probably max out at like 30K. But to me, Solana, and that's so crazy, that's like a 10x, right? Solana has way more upside potential. You can basically at minimum get a 9x. So I look at the two, knowing that Solana has all this money behind them. They have the owners of FTX behind them. They have all this money behind them, corporate, non-corporate. Solana will succeed. It has all the capabilities. It's got the things like Star Atlas and all these things that are being built on top of it. So I would say personally, Solana, even Polkadot would be a better investment than Bitcoin, only because you have more potential for a return. So yeah. Now, if it was me, if I had some more money, the way I use my money is I will always take, I do have at least 10% that I just keep in, I don't put in cash, but I put in like silver or gold, I just to hold the value, 10%. And I have a little bit I'll put in the bank. If you got money in the bank ready for expenses, then I would take maybe, like, when it comes to the money that you want to invest, I would put like 10%, 10 to even 25% into coins like Saber, Fabric, Liquid, because these coins they're a little bit more, they're not as likely to go up like as Solana is, but they're gonna go up. And if you look at right now, you look at Fabric maxed out at 42 cents, and it's right now at 8 cents. So that's a 5x to go to its max. But at its max, it was only at like I gotta look, the market cap. Max. Oh my goodness, can you believe that? The highest that Fabric's market cap had gone to was 7 million. My goodness gracious. Oh wait, am I looking? No, I'm looking at the wrong chart. What the heck? Never mind. Rewind. Wasn't 7 million. The highest it got to was actually 19 million. Okay, 19 million. And we're talking coins like, Solana, Ethereum at 45 billion. I think Fabric will minimum get to 100 million. And right this second, it's at 4. And so if it could get to 100, like 100 million is low balling too. I think half of 500 million is not crazy whatsoever. I think something like Fabric to get to 1 billion still is not crazy. But as a trader, I'm just kind of like, I'm here to profit. I'm not here to speculate. So let's just say that it got to 100 million. You're talking at 25x on your money, and that's low end. Okay, guaranteed. You put money in, you put 10 grand in, it's going to come out as 250K. It could. When you invest in this, you want to plan for 3 years. Like, I'm okay with not touching this for 3 years. But I think Fabric going to 100 million will happen in the next 3 to 4 months. So that's like literally 25x your money in the next few months. And I think it could go higher than that. in the next 3 to 6 months. I do. So the way that we're going to see is Bitcoin pumping. Bitcoin's going to slow down. It might dip, and if it dips, everything will dip and whatever, buy more on the dip. But Bitcoin is going to go to at least 150K, probably 200K. When Bitcoin dips and maybe everything else dips, I think while Bitcoin dips, other things will dip, but there are going to be a few things that pop off. All right. And Fabric and Saber are going to pump after Solana pumps. So when you see Solana going up, when Solana gets back up to 200, 300 plus, that's when you'll start to see Fabric, Saber, these coins going up. Okay. So right now is buying season. And I know it's like, Cody, you've been talking about these now for like a month. Like they haven't gone up. Patience, young Padawan. Patience, young grasshopper. We're going for financial freedom. Okay. Financial freedom doesn't happen overnight. All right. So just be patient. But now is the buying season, right? Look at Bitcoin. Looking back at this, when was the best time to buy? When it was down, but dang, that was the scariest. Like it had gotten to 20 and it's like, it's down to 3,800. And right here, it looked like it was bottomed out for a while at 6,000. And then it went even lower. This, oh my gosh, I remember this. I lost a lot of money here and I actually made a lot right here. Right here was the spike. I turned $300 into like 5K overnight. It was really fun. But that right there, that's when you want to buy. You look at the investor, when is the time to buy? When it was down, when it was all the way down, right? And so those 2 points are here and here. Okay, so knowing that, well, Bitcoin's up, right? When was the last best time to buy? Well, when it was down over here. And so right now we're up. To me, this is not a buying location. But I look at Fabric. Oh yeah, such a good buying location. Let's look at not Saber, but let's look at Solana really quick. Let's go. Let's just, what am I doing? I can go to the trading view chart. All cycles, baby. Okay. So Solana, we're in this trend. It may not be bottomed. I think it has. Maybe we go a little lower. I don't think we go lower than like 136 though. But as soon as we break this like 160 and we stay above it, 165, we're off. So Solana is down a bit. Not down as much as like Bitcoin and stuff had, but it is down. And so that would have been a good time to buy. And it still hasn't gone back up yet. So Solana has peaked at 216. I think Solana will peak this bull run. I don't know, man. I really think like $800, you know, or more. So that's pretty good. So yeah, put a bit into small cap, you know, put no more than 25% of your money into like the small market caps. And you don't need to obviously trade leverage on those. You just buy and hold and sell when it's like, wow, okay, cool. I can buy a couple houses now. Yeah, and I'll tell you guys what. Yeah, we're waiting. We're watching. We're waiting.
Hey Zeller, I have another question.
Of course.
Do you think it's safe to leave your Fabric and Saber in the Phantom wallet for the several years, because you can't put them on the ledger, or maybe there is another hardware wallet you can put them on?
I believe that. I don't think so. Yes, I believe that it's safe. I do because you have keys. You know, the backup, basically the backup phrase that you used. You have those keys. I've already had to reset my computer, and I was able to get back on my Phantom wallet easily on my girlfriend's computer and then on my new computer. So, and that was just like a month ago. So yeah, I do. It is very safe. And I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, obviously the safest way is Ledger. And I'm trying to think. Let me see really quick. Solana chain. I really wouldn't worry about it, but just for that extra security, I'm trying to see if there is any Solana hardware wallets like that accept it. Yeah, I think you could add it if you can code, but I'm not like a big coder, and I personally I'm not too worried about it. Juliana says, have you heard of Near Wallet? It doesn't look like there's a hardware wallet that accepts all Solana coins. But I feel like after this bull run, coins like that will be accepted. So Near Wallet. Near securely store your Near tokens and compatible assets. Okay. I haven't heard of Near, so this is the first time for me. Looks cool. Does Near yeah, so I use Exodus. Uliana says Exodus is good, but still Exodus doesn't support Saber or Fabric. But I do like Exodus. They have a good interface. So yeah, I wouldn't worry at all though. I keep things in Phantom, and I have no issue, and I have no worry about it. Solid is another one, but same thing. Solid is all software wallet, not a hardware wallet.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure out a way to maybe save it onto like a thumb drive if you wanted to do that. But yeah, I wouldn't think twice about it. Juliana wants to discuss staking again, which I'm so down for. Does anyone not know what staking is or how it works? Because if you guys don't know how it works, I can yeah, I can go through that. But if everyone knows how it works, I just need to know if anyone doesn't know, and if no one messages, just to nail in the comments. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm gonna act like we don't know, and I'll explain it like really simply. So, okay, when you put your money in your bank account, you're staking it at the bank, technically, right? So think of what the banks do with the money. They pay interest, right? The interest they pay though is laughable, right? It's like 0.01% interest or something dumb. So you might earn a penny in a year off of $100 or 1,000, who knows? So, but then you got inflation, so your money is actually rotting in the bank. 30, it's like 30 something percent of all money in existence, all US dollars in existence right now were printed in the last year and a half. Did you know that in 2000, the year 2000, if you had $100, it's only worth $63 right now. Only by, can you believe that? You've lost 37% of your money since the year 2000. That's messed up, bro. It's kind of jacked. Okay, so staking. You put your money in the bank. What you're doing is you're securing the bank, okay? Your money, yeah, it sits in the bank. It doesn't just sit. You know what they do with your money is they take it and they invest it and they trade it, right? They do what we're doing, right? And so when they put it and they invest it, they trade it, they make money on your money. So it's laughable that they can make 10, 20, 30% in a year off of your money. They keep the 29.9% and they give you 0.01% interest. How dumb is that? How is that sustainable? It's not cool. It's not chill at all. So staking, what we're doing in crypto space is basically it's a similar thing. They're not using it so much to invest it, kind of, sort of, but what you're doing is you're putting your crypto in an account and you're securing the network, okay? And some have you lock it in where you have to have at least, staking period of at least 30 days, or, an unlocking period of at least 30 days. Because what happens is you put your crypto in this account, you put your money here, and what it does is that means that there is money on the chain so that it can provide liquidity, okay? So for instance, like Ethereum needs gas, or sometimes instead of sending, let's say I'm sending Ethereum from me to someone in Africa, The way that the nodes or the networks are set up is sometimes the best way isn't to go straight from me to the person in Africa, but maybe there's more funds with the people who are staking in the US. So instead, it's, even though it says that I sent this money, it's going to actually take it from this person who's staked. Okay. It's not that the person loses their money at all. It's just that they're using their money to help secure the network, to help keep the money moving around, keep the liquidity, keep it flowing. Okay. But if everyone is buying crypto and they're taking it off the network and putting it into their ledger, into their hardware wallet, if everyone did that, well, then it would make it harder for the network to move, because there's not liquidity, there's not money moving around. So by staking it, it helps it to secure the network. And since you're assisting, you're providing a service to the network for it to be more secure, you're going to earn interest on it. And the lowest interest that I see being paid is like 5%. If you go to Coinbase, you can stake most of your coins, or stake a lot of coins, and that's usually the lowest you'll get is like 4%. But know that even though they're giving you 4% in Coinbase, they're actually making like 10 to 15, right? So the Coinbase just keeps the extra, but a lot of people don't know that, so they just put their money in Coinbase and stake it. Like, wow, I'm getting way more than my bank account. So staking is really, really, really cool for that. There's something new coming out though that's going to be revolutionary, and I don't even know if I should talk about it. How many people do we have on here? Let's see. Okay, we got 8 people on here. Okay, I'm gonna talk about it, guys. You guys are all homies. So first of all, before I move on, staking, does that make sense to everyone how it works? Because you're providing that service, and where does the interest come from? Where does your payment come from? Your payment, when you make money, 5%, or in this case, I'm making freaking 50,000% straight up. When it pulls up, I'll show you 56,000% right now. So when you're making that interest rate, the reason that where the money comes from is there's transactions always going in and out. And so you know how when you make a transaction on Ethereum and you got to pay the gas fee, right? Or Solana, you pay a Solana fee. It's small. That is, yeah. So that's where the fees come from. Is the people who are securing the network. They can, they're going to make that interest or make those fees. Uliana asked, how many coins is enough coins to be staking, or is there no limit? So it depends on the network. Solana, I can't remember the amount of coins you need, but it would to be a validator, or to be able to like a network validator to stake and provide that value to Solana, they have higher requirements. You need to have about $800,000 to do that. The income is really good. You probably make 6 figures a year off of doing that, but you have to have at least that just sitting in your account. Things like this, like Wonderland, they have no limit, like no minimum, no maximum. You just earn 9% day in, day out, 9.06%. And this fluctuates. Like I've seen it go down to 45,000. I put this coin is worth right now like $6,000. So just because it's like doesn't have a lot of use case, I didn't put much in. Like I literally put like $450 in, but a few weeks ago, I had 0.096, and now I'm already up to 0.12. And so I'm just gonna hold it, and we'll see. I think this coin will at least go to 10K, and it's worth like 6,200 now. So I might pull out when it's up to 10K, and I tripled my money or whatever. So, but yeah, just know that there's 2 different types of, so not every coin can you stake. They have to be built for that. So there's proof of work and proof of stake. Proof of work is stuff like Bitcoin, and Ethereum right now is proof of work, but that's going to change to proof of stake. But basically, to earn Bitcoin or to provide that service, you have to have a mining machine. And it's called proof of work because the machine's working. It's doing math problems. It's taking electricity, right? It's just doing. And proof of stake is doing nothing. It's just the funds are just sitting there. So it's a lot more efficient. And so Ethereum is switching to that because it's going to make the network faster and do a lot of things. But yeah. Staking, does that make sense, guys? So it's passive income. So some of you guys may have heard in crypto of yield farming. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. That's what staking is. And there's some crazy stuff. It goes multiple levels deep. There's things called synthetic assets. So let's go to Sushi Swap. Which platform can you stake ETH? Yeah, it's not available yet. That's going to be available early this next year. Staking. Oh, I guess you can start staking now. You have to have 32 Ethereum to be a full validator, but you can stake less. You can stake in a pool. So if you have 32 Ethereum, you can start staking. So you can see how that kind of costs a bit. My phone's dead. I don't know how much it cost until like 32 times 3,800. Someone gonna beat me to it. 32 times 3,800. So you need 121,000 US dollars right now to to become a validator on the Ethereum network. I like that it's available now. So they're getting prepared for Ethereum 2. Hasn't launched yet. So probably just getting their people ready, getting the network ready. So yeah, looking good. I know ETH2 is still in like testing phases, but looking good. So save up your Ethereum. That could be good. And your interest should probably get pretty good. Probably get paid pretty good, but I will say right now though, I think the absolute best time to get into staking is to time the market. Okay. So if you wanted to get into staking right now, make sure you're getting into something that has a chart that looks like it's way down, you know? So you want a chart that, if we're going back to the cheat sheet, I think it's up. Oh, I don't have it. Who knows? Anyway, yeah, make sure you're getting into something when it's down and start staking it then. So Ethereum right now, for me personally, it's like you can stake Ethereum and earn Ethereum, but like technically looking at this daily chart, we just hit resistance. And so since we hit resistance, like Ethereum could totally come down, you know, a little bit. So let's see, horizontal line. I see support level there. I see a support level there. And let's see one right here. Okay. So these three levels is where I would look for Ethereum to dip to. And then maybe if you wanted to stake, watch the market and buy around there. But if you want to just jump in now, like it doesn't matter what Ethereum's doing over the next couple months if you're going to stake and just leave it for 5 years. Like that, it literally doesn't matter. Because probably in 5 years, Ethereum will be a lot higher. A lot higher. I said I was going to get into Forex charts, but I haven't really done that at the moment. And that's okay, because there's just obviously so much in crypto. So while crypto's moving, see, as good traders, we're going to follow the money. You know, where can we be most profitable? And so honestly, what I would also say is right now, if you're wanting to stake over the next like few months, unless you're getting something that's paying like thousands of percent in interest rate, it's just better to just buy the dip and invest. Just because it's right now. Now, if you would have bought and started staking, let's say when the market was down, Bitcoin was down to like 30K, that could have been good. But right now, I would say just trade it a little bit. So, and there are tools. So I used to have a mining machine. I mined this coin called Raven coin. It's a pretty good coin still. I don't actually own any anymore, but what to stake? There are, let's see. Trying to find a website that says like what coins to stake. 15 best staking coins 2021. See, these are just articles written. I want like an updated. Dang. Okay, so proof of stake list, staking coins. Okay, challenge to all of you guys is to find. Here we go. Yearly ROI. So Ethereum 2.0 will pay you 10%. Polygon will pay you 38%. Let's go with the highest. Cardasy will pay you 160% right now. But you have to know on these things that are smaller. Pancake Swap will pay you 111% right now. So when you're staking, you know, these smaller coins that pay the higher rate, they're beautiful, they're awesome. But you also have to look at it like, is this gonna provide good value? Like, is this coin gonna appreciate in value? Because they'll pay a higher interest rate to attract more people to stake because they need more people in the market. But as more people start staking, they don't need as many people to do it. So the interest rate will go down. This is actually one of my favorite coins. Another good investment here and a good one to stake is Akash. Akash is really good. I think it's topped out at like, yeah, it looks like $6, $7. Akash is decentralized cloud computing, decentralized cloud, not just computing, but cloud network, cloud storage. I couldn't think of storage. So right here, let's say we staked 1,000 Akash. So we put 2,700 bucks in. In 1 year, we're going to earn 1,500 on that 1,000. Let's say we put 10,000 in. So we put 27K in. On that 27K, we're going to earn about 15,000 in Akash. This is actually a good site. So cointostake.com. What I'm seeing is it has all the good ones to stake, like the things that don't have as much risk. So something like this has more risk, but it's going to pay a lot higher. So anyways, so staking's cool. And when let's say you want to stake, so let's say you go to Akash, which I do own some Akash. I don't talk about it a lot because it hasn't been doing much. And I want to talk about the best possible opportunities. Akash is a good opportunity for investment. But where are we at? How to stake? Oh yeah, so like there's different ways to stake things, but all you have to do is just go to YouTube. If you want to stake something that you like, how do I stake this? How do I stake this? How do I stake this? So Ethereum, for instance, if you want to stake it, the best place is just on their site, but they're only paying 10%. So why stake Ethereum at 10% when you could stake Pancake Swap, which is obviously it's a decentralized exchange, and that's going to pay you 109%, right? See market cap. Ethereum's the highest market cap. Out of all the high market caps, Polygon's got a 10 billion market cap, and that one looks 38%. So yeah, Pancake Swap's cool. Aave is cool. This is a good site. So I'm gonna cointostake.com. I'm gonna post this in the group for everybody. Go lounge. So staking is good. If you have money in crypto, like any of these coins that you would buy and invest in, and it's like I'm investing in them anyway, might as well have them earn me interest. That could be good. So for me, when I look at this list, really some of the best investments I see, Akash is one, Sentinel is a good one. Thorchain, of course, is a good one. That's paying 32%. And the cool thing is even these ones, like the lowest one, Ardor, is paying 0.23%. That's still 20 times what any bank is going to pay you, you know? So might as well, you know? Okay, guys, should we look at charts? I'm at that point where usually I'm like, all right, getting about an hour and a half in, about 10 minutes away from an hour and a half in. And usually I start to wrap it up, but I'll do some charting, and I want to have a vote really quick for everyone that can message. Should I chart some crypto on the lower time frames for some crypto trades, see if we can find anything, or should I chart Forex and see if we can find anything? Even if I only get one answer, I'm gonna do whatever has the most answers. And if you guys don't care, then I'll just flip a coin. Anyone? Crypto Forex, crypto lower time frames, crypto. We got 2 crypto. Oh, crypto. All right, crypto it is. That's 3. I don't think unless we get a crazy amount of votes of Forex right now. Okay, tight. Okay, let's look at crypto. So let's start with the king because that's what's moving most is Bitcoin. All right, so first things first, I know I said lower time frame, but I am going to start on the higher time frame. I did call this trade for Bitcoin to get to 65K. Almost there. Called this last week. So looking good. Should be up pretty good. Anyone that got in. We are at resistance. So I drew these support and resistance lines. I'm going to delete this Fibonacci chart because we don't need it. So, remember the process, guys. We start on the higher time frames, weekly, daily, to draw those obvious levels of support and resistance. Just because those are the levels that we're going to watch and play out. And obviously, we really only care about the support and resistance lines that are closer to where the price is, because that's where we're going to be trading. Okay. So I drew my lines. I'm coming down to the 4 hour and I turned off Bollinger Bands because I want to start just looking at price action. That's number 1. So let's look at what the obvious pattern is. I mean, very clearly, what have we been doing? We've been heading upward. Okay. So I'm not going to look at the moment. I'm not going to look for a short sell unless I really see the price action. And at the moment, we have, looks like an hour and a half left of this 4 hour candle. Remember, the 5th of no, remember, we can never make a decision on a candle that is still open. Okay. Ever, never, ever. If it's open, doesn't matter. Like right now, we could say, oh, this candle, it's probably going to head down from here. But the candle's not closed. Literally anything can happen. In the last 10 minutes, in 4 hour candles, I see stuff happen in the last 20 seconds in crypto, a lot of these candles. So we can only make decisions based off of the candles before. So if you need to, here up in TradingView, there's this little rewind button. You can rewind the price to get rid of this candle. You can do it as far back as you want, but I'm just going to click this current candle and that's going to delete it for me. Okay. So deleted the candle, looking, smelling, feeling like $1 million. And the previous price action, we can clearly see that we are more bullish. Okay. Why? What do we see, Cody? What are we bullish on? Well, if we see that, looking at the price action of the bodies of the candles, overall, the bullish candles are a lot more engulfing. So see, we came up, we tested this resistance level at 62K. We bounced down. We bounced and we had a strong wick off, and this strong wick also attached to a super strong candle. And I drew this little blue line here because we had kind of formed a tiny downtrend. Right here's a high, here's a lower high, and this candle gave it the fat middle finger and closed above. And not only did it close above that little trend that was happening, but you can see it closed above all the wicks of that high as well. The body, right? It's the body, where the body close that matters most. Sorry, this music's taking over. And then we had another strong close where this body closed above these bodies, the highs, not above the wicks, but it closed above the highs. These 2 candles are both giving the middle finger to each high, right? Saying, hey, we're going to probably go higher. We hit the resistance again. We bounced down, and notice with this blue line that I drew that had made this little mini trend of attaching the highs, basically, we basically retested that perfectly. And with that, with this wick, we made a higher low, right? Here's a low, here's a higher low, and an engulfing candle. Next, we had this candle, but these 2 are kind of even, although the bullish one is slightly engulfing. And then the one after that, it closed above this high, the body closed above the bodies of this one. And this body, it also closed above the bodies of this one. So to me, this is strong upward trend. Then we get two candles in a row that are attempting to move down below. And notice how the bodies close inside this candle. So as of right now, based off of these candles, this is way more bullish. We're at this resistance level because we're so close to the all-time high. And so people, not only do big boys want to sell the price as high as they can, but people also don't want to miss out on the movement. And so the price is going to be manipulated up and down before we are going to break the all-time high. But note it could go down before to create that liquidity to get people to get stopped out. So Bitcoin is going to represent the whole market right now. So let's say though that we want to look at, okay, I want to say things in context. I'm not going to trade this personally just because I know of the funky stuff that can happen, you know, and I'm going to show you funky stuff really quick before we go down on time frames. Right here, notice this movement up. This was in September where we went up to 52K, and then in one candle we dropped from 52 to 42, a $10,000 candle in one candle, and one daily candle. Okay, and what does that look like on a 4-hour? In the 4-hour, it was like 2 candles, but the 1 4-hour candle went from 51 down to 42. So it was basically 1 4-hour candle that was, I mean, was it a 1-hour candle too? Let's see what the 1-hour looked like. Good Lord. Okay, so we had a 1-hour candle that was an $8,000 candle, right? From 50 down to 42K within an hour. All right, so we can see that. So that is possible, okay? Obviously, that's very, very possible. So we have to know when we're making decisions, we really have to be wary of that because we're close to this all-time high. There's a great chance, like in reality, until it breaks the all-time high, we're a lot more likely to dip. All right, so we're gonna go up. We're gonna go up eventually. Looks like we're kind of dipping now. Let's see what it looks like. But the candle has not closed yet. Okay, I'm gonna go down to the hourly now and check it out. So I'm gonna erase the current candle. It's really strong and it's really hard not to look at it. There's a lot of selling pressure, but we have to not look at it. So I will say when we look at the 1 hour, even though on the 4-hour we got all these closes, you know, this closed above this high, right? And this high closed above this high. So we're definitely heading upward. When we go down, we can see that we're still at this resistance level. Okay, why do I see this? Well, we had a strong wick here where there's all this selling pressure that pushed it down. We came up and touched, and remember, support and resistance, it's a range. So obviously, you know, I just have to remind everyone, you know, I have that yellow line and you might be like, well, what do you mean that's resistance, bro? Like the wick went way above it. Like it's not resisting. Okay, well, let me draw what it really will look like. Okay, that's the whole level. All right, and we have to know that, you know, until it does a clean close, like if we got the candle to close up here, then okay, we're gonna make new high, but the body did not close up here. We got a strong wick. It doesn't matter how far the wick goes. The wick could go up to freaking 80K. If it doesn't close up there, it doesn't matter. Okay, it's still a resistance level. It's the body that really counts. So we can see right here, strong wick, strong wick, strong wick. And even though over here, the wicks are getting higher, we are pushing the price higher. So we know, okay, overall, it's kind of moving up. We have to just be obvious that this is resistance and that this level is not a good time to buy whatsoever. So based off of just the price action so far, and I just erased it so we can see the current candle. We're actually about to get a 30-minute close so we can see what the 30-minute says and maybe make a decision there. But based off this price action, this is not a chart we want to buy. And if we're looking to maybe get into some lower time frame trades, then there's a chance that okay, well, this obviously is a good time to maybe sell for the short time because look at when we got up here, if we would have sold up here, we could have rolled that all the way down from 63,000 to 59, right? Saying we got in at the very bottom, right? The good place to buy is down here. So, you know, we can see that because it touched it here, here even came down. So this 58 to 60,000 level is the level to buy. And until we go there, I don't want to buy. And I want to make sure I actually get confirmation that I should buy. I don't want to just, okay, just because the price is down here, I'm going to buy, because the price could be down here, but the candles could be saying, hey, yeah, bro, actually, even though it's down here, it could go lower. So right now we can see we're kind of in this sideways. And so the best way to trade Bitcoin, if you're going to day trade this or make some scalp trades, is to just look at those ranges that you have and trade those ranges. Okay. So as of now, it's looking like we buy in the bottom yellow box and we sell in the top yellow box. And since we're in between at the moment, I'm not going to do either. I'm not going to do either because it could go up and it could go down. So until we see what happens with the price action, I'm like, nah. I am looking on the 30-minute. We did just have a 30-minute close, and looking at this 30-minute close. By the way, guys, I want you to see, I almost always have the Bollinger Bands on my chart. I haven't put them on once. We can make all these decisions based off of price action. Price action is king. Okay. So a couple things to look at now. I'm here on the 30-minute and we just got to close. So we can analyze this candle with that just closed. So, we're still 30 minutes left or 28 minutes left until the hourly close. But what just happened is we went up a little bit, experienced this heavy pressure with the wick on top, right? After the upward movement, you get a wick on top. That is selling pressure. That is people pushing the price down. Well, this candle closed, and look where the body closed. The body closed below the low of the beginning of this strong upward movement here. And it closed below this low, right? So as of this moment, we have to look at, okay, where is the next place? If we just close below let me just draw some lines really quick. I'm going to draw lines in different color or change the color a bit. So I'm going to draw a level here. Oh, whoops, that's not what I wanted. Horizontal line. Okay, I'm going to change the color since we're drawing them on the 30-minute, right? It's the high time frames that count the most, right? But the low time frames are also good. What's a good color? Let's do orange. Okay, orange is a good one. So I'm looking at the lower time frame, and all I'm doing is spotting support and resistance, right? So I see support here, support here, support here, support here, right? Resistance a little bit right there, resistance here, and even here. Okay, so that's why I drew this orange line. Okay, the next one I'm drawing is we can basically look at all the bottoms and the top. So this bottom, I can see, okay, played with it here a little bit too. So, and right there, because right here bounced, right here bounced, right here, all that. Okay, so these lines I have on the lower time frame, and I'm expecting it to go down. What I want to do is, okay, this is my sweet spot, this yellow space down here. If I can buy in this yellow space and I can ride it up to, at least the top and maybe sell there, that's a pretty good trade. And if we draw it out, let's say we got into the trade long position, boom, we would have our stop loss below that resistance level or support level, and our take profits would be up here. It's a good 2.2 risk to reward ratio. It's a decent trade. If we can get it down, get it somewhere in this box, if we can get it lower, it could be a freaking 9 risk to reward ratio trade, whatever. We're aiming for this box. We also have this blue line to go off of to say, okay, that it could retest that another time because it tested it over here before it goes higher. Okay, so looking at that now, a couple things. I drew these levels, and although I said that the body did close below these lows, I want to say something. In Forex, you could basically, when that happens, you can guarantee it's going to go to the next line. Okay, crypto, you can't do that as much. Okay, crypto, just because the body closed below, it could pump here still because we're still at this resist or support area. Okay, even though the wick went way down, this could potentially still be a higher low. So to me, it's a no trade zone until I get this area where it shows in history is a good time to buy. Okay, so far, this area that it's in right now, it's not always the best time to buy. It was a good time to buy here, but right here, it wasn't because it went down. Okay, and right here it wasn't because it went down. And right here it wasn't because it went down. So far, locally, that best place to buy is the blue box. I'm sorry, the yellow box. Everyone following? Everyone seeing what I'm seeing? Is there anything at all that I've said that seems confusing? Because I want you guys to be better traders than me, if you can. Anyone have questions about it? You can type the question if you don't want to speak. And guys, oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Can you maybe talk a little bit more about what you said about the strong upward trend and the engulfing candles?
Totally. Yeah, so the upward trend is more in the, I see it in the higher time frames. So what I would do first is get my bias in the high time frames, and my bias is, do I think it's more likely to go up, or do I think it's more likely to go down? And so far, based off these weeklies, like Bitcoin, it closed high, and right now we have 5 days left in this weekly. We could see a bit of a dip before we run it, but it's gonna go up for sure. So my bias is I want to buy more than I sell. But if I'm gonna day trade it, obviously the opportunity for me until we make a big move is gonna be that upward. And honestly, what I would say too, I'm gonna go back more into engulfing stuff here in a second. I'm gonna go to another chart, but I would say that I would be more inclined to buy because we are in this heavy uptrend. But just to reiterate what I was saying about the engulfing and stuff and why we're more likely to go up is just simply looking at each individual candle, and then the individual candles that are grouped together. So what are you talking about? Well, right here, let's look at this price action here. Okay, we hit this resistance and we came down, and notice that when we came down, it was actually kind of sideways here because we got a mixture of blue candles and white candles, right? More blue, but all the blue are pretty small. And then we have this sharp downward movement. And then after, well, technically 3, but 2 big candles that we moved down, the candle right after that was a strong bullish engulfing candle, meaning the body of this candle was bigger. And when the body of a candle is bigger than the previous, especially if they're opposite colors, that tells you that this candle has more power. Whichever one is bigger, the body, that direction has more power. So notice how it was engulfing, and then we just ran it right up, like 4 candles, 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, strong bullish. And then notice that when we turned around and we experienced bearishness, look how many bearish candles it took, and it didn't even get down to the bottom, the beginning. So let's see really quick. Just got a text, I can check. I'll check after. Anyways, this movement was 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, we had a white one here, but it was still going down, like 6 bearish candles, and the whole movement was smaller. See how from the top 62, bottom 59 was smaller than this whole upward movement, right? So, and this was bottom 58 and top was 62. So a lot bigger of a movement. And then when we did come down, notice that we came down all this way, and then to get back up almost to the top of that, it only took 2 candles, 2 bullish candles. So that is another thing where I'm like, okay, look at this engulfing too, is this candle is huge right here compared to this previous one. So overall, and then you look again here, we came up here, we had 4 candles that moved down, and look how strong this upward movement was. So overall, when I'm looking at all these, the average, the candles moving upward are a lot stronger than the candles moving downward. And we can say that in the larger movements too. So like, look at how fast we go to the beginning of the screen here, how fast and strong this moved up. And then when it was going back down, look how long it took. It moved all the way up from October 21st, 4 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the same day. Okay. And then this went, when it started going down from 3 o'clock, October 15th, all the way to October 17th, 3 o'clock. It took 2 days to go all the way down, and it made a higher low, barely went down. So that also to me means that people buying have a lot more power, whereas people selling, they're trying to push it down. It's just taking them a lot more time and a lot more effort. If that makes sense. Let's see here. I gotta really quick check this text. Oh, cool. Perfect. We're all good. So let's go to one other chart. I'm gonna go through one other chart, guys, and then I'm gonna hop off. Oh, there we go. Now my text showed up. Okay, cool. Really crazy. Okay, let's chart Solana. Actually, let me see which chart looks just juicy. Solana, to be honest, right this moment, looks like a good sell. Yeah, it looks like a pretty good sell. Solana looks like it can go down to freaking $100 right now. So let me tell you why do you see that? Okay, let me tell you what I see. Let me erase these. Oh, wait. Before I go to Solana, sorry guys, I gotta backtrack. I didn't even add Bollinger Bands. So let's see what the Bollinger Bands say. Just adding these as a filter. I'm gonna go to the 4 hour. Wow, okay. Yeah, and the Bollinger Bands are kind of saying the same thing. So when we add the Bollinger Bands here, look at, we got all these bottoms and these candles, and how beautifully the candles touch the bottom of the Bollinger Bands here. They touch the top. We actually had this one just barely close on the 4 hour outside of the band, and it's a squeeze. So we did reject. It's not time to go up yet, but maybe we touch the bottom band one more time. So we might get down to that yellow box or close to it one more time before we send it. So to at least test the high. So I don't know. We'll see there. Yeah, okay. Not much more to see on the Bollinger Bands. Okay, Solana. Let's see what's happening here. What do I see? Okay, first things first, remember we start on the higher time frames. So since I'm gonna make it all the way down to like the 1 hour and stuff, I'm gonna start on the daily. I'll turn the B bands off for a second, but I do see some patterns there I want to go over. Actually, let's just leave them on. Let's just leave them on so we can do it all at the same time. Okay, so I'm starting on the daily, right? And I'm gonna draw these lines. I'm gonna change these back to yellow because I am on the higher time frame. So I like to change the color if I'm doing like different time frame. You could also change the thickness. You know, maybe the higher time frame you have a thicker line, and the lower time frame you have a thinner one. Okay, so I'm marking all the highs. So we have a high here, right? And I'm marking this one. I'm marking 2 on the high. So I'm marking the very top wick, and I'm also marking where these 2 candles on each side of this top wick touched. Okay, and marking the highs, And remember, it's a range. So I would say that this yellow line here, it gets this high, and this too. Okay. Beautiful. So one thing I see already is the price is constricting. Okay. And the Bollinger Bands tell us that. But I mean, we can obviously also see the price is constricting. What does that mean? Well, the highs are closer to each other and the lows are closer to each other, right? Whereas this low is way down here, this low way down here, this low way down here, right? These are getting pretty close. Draw some lines here. I do kind of see this trend that we have. I'm drawing based off of the highs. Not the best trend because we're matching up with the wicks here and here, but you know, here we have to go a little lower. So it's still a trend. I'm going to watch. I'm just going to leave it because it looks like it's something that it's playing with. So, okay, I drew all my levels on the daily. So now I'm going to hop down to the 4 hour. All right. And right off the bat, we can see that we've not only rejected off this blue line, but we also rejected off of this yellow line, which is a level we could have drawn because over here. And we also noticed that, you know, ever so slightly, this wick here on the 4 hour is a lower high. Okay, so that means what? It means the price is going down. Okay. On the Bollinger Bands, I also see that not only did we close down below, or that we closed under that moving average, I'm foreshadowing. Not only did we close below this resistance level, but look at, we're also under the moving average. We're under this red line here. We haven't closed outside of the Bollinger Bands, which is a sign of continuation, right? We want to wait for that close outside of the bands to believe that it will continue. But at minimum, it looks like since we rejected here, that will potentially, we're going to test this next support level. Now, there's one other level, of course, that I'm just going to draw to keep it separate, right here. And I'll make that one orange. So that's an interesting level that we can watch for. That if we break this yellow line here, we're going to test that. And if we break that down, then we're going to go make a new low. Now, I personally think that we're just going to kind of squeeze. We got a little bit of a wedge, if you will, that's forming. Okay. And to me, this is a pendant. This wedge, in my opinion, will end in upside, even if we go below it for a little bit and then come up. This way, this is how I'm seeing the price constricting. It's going through this wedge and it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And so to me right now, the next most logical level for Solana to bounce is going to be this yellow/blue line, just right in this area. And at that point, because the price is so constricted, I personally wouldn't make a trade right now because I want to wait till we cross either above or below. So what I can do is I can put an alert, say, okay, tell me if we go down below it. I got this, draw it up, move it up. Okay. That way, if it goes above or below either side of the wedge, I'm going to get an alert on my app. If you guys don't know about alerts, pretty easy. You can click this plus button on your chart, or you can right click, you can hit add alert. And once you add the alert, you can edit it and I have it to where it notifies me on app. So all you got to do is log in, download the app to your phone, your iPad. So but don't let trading take over your life. Just if you have alerts, make sure it's not like you put freaking 20 alerts on every chart and you're alerted every second or two. The whole point of alerts is actually to get your life back, to make sure, not get your life back, but to make sure you're not looking at charts 24/7 just watching. It's just like, okay, I only need to look at the chart if the price is moving one way or another. So it's a great way to, as you learn, while you're learning in the beginning, it is good to be on charts. If you can do 2-3 hours or more a day, that's great because you're learning it. But as time goes on, I personally, I don't put in more than like 6-7 hours a week in charts. So, so that's average. Some weeks I do 12, but I guess with coaching, it's probably more. Yeah. Okay. So I do more because I coach, but anyway, for my own trading. Okay. So Solana, I'm going to just to be extra fun, I'm going to go down to 1 hour, see what we see here. And holy Hannah, bro, the price is just squeezed. So we got a squeeze here on the 1 hour. We got a squeeze kind of on the 4 hour. We definitely have squeeze that's come. It's starting here on the daily. What I do like, one thing that is a pattern is that the way that the price is moving while you're getting a squeeze. So what I mean is right here, it wasn't squeezing as much, but it is now. We're moving down as the price is squeezing. And usually I notice that when the bands expand, like look over here, we were squeezing and then we started to expand and it went up. What I notice is whatever is happening while the price is squeezing, you usually get the opposite movement. So right here, for instance, we were moving down. These candles are weak sauce, but notice we were squeezing as we were getting these blue candles. And then as soon as the squeeze was over, we popped up and that's when we started to spread. So right here, notice that we were squeezing and we started moving down. We did spread apart a little bit, but after we came up, we started squeezing again. So what I'm saying is the price is starting to squeeze while we're moving down. So to me, that means that when the bands start to spread apart, the pop is going to be the opposite direction. So I would anticipate the price to go upward, probably within the next week or so. And maybe not a crazy up, but one thing I do see in crypto a lot, especially when wedges form, is you get one of these. you get a fake out breakout. So it could go both ways. I could see us doing this and then going up, or the opposite. I could see us coming up and then going down. So either way, whichever one breaks out first, I believe that we'll still do the opposite, at least for a little while. But overall, I like Solana, Bitcoin, everything. I think it will go up. You know, when we're looking at these smaller time frames, it's just to maybe find some quick day trades, or to just get a better entry for the long run. Because, you know, especially if you're trading with a big size, yeah, Solana's at 155, but I mean, if you could get it at 147, like that's good, right? If you're buying 1,000 Solana, you know, it's like what, $8,000. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it's a difference. It's definitely a difference. So anyways, guys, I'm almost at 2 hours in on this, so I think I'm gonna call it. It flowed all so well. It felt so good. I only drank half my coffee today, and Mia, oh my goodness, my girlfriend, she made this like beautiful like coffee, coconut cream. I think there's like ashwagandha in here, and it's good stuff. It's really good. Feeling focused. So I'm gonna go flow into some other things though. I have some coaching sessions today, and I'm just gonna go take care of myself, eat and all that. So yeah, guys, let's just keep it up on crypto. It sounds like everyone's more into crypto. I'm organizing a little bit more. So we're gonna work to make the group a little bit more organized. There's a lot going on there. So much good info, but I want to make it all simple. So we'll keep, so just forgive me if you guys are upset if I'm not charting as much Forex, but I'll keep crypto charts coming instead. And we'll do that on a more consistent basis. So anyways, guys, I'm always here in the group, I'm present. So as I always say, reach out to me. Actually, before I hop off, does anyone have any questions about anything? Do you guys, is there anything about charting that you're like, you want more clarity on? Is there any random questions? Any suggestions? No? All feeling good?
You killed it, brother. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thanks for hopping on, man. Appreciate you all.
Have a good day, everyone.
Yes, take it easy, everyone. All the love, all the time.